Hello everybody, this is Hornlitz here, and welcome back for more Let's Glitch The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. In the last episode, we got through the first half of Arbiter's Grounds, getting the spinner, and in this episode, we are going to be beating the dungeon and then getting a bunch of 100% stuff. So right off the bat, you'll notice I'm coming from the start of the dungeon as opposed to, the spinner chest where I left off. And the reason for that is because I save warped after getting the spinner. And the reason that I wanted to do that is because it's actually way faster to come from the beginning of the dungeon back to the middle room here, or to the next room. It's way faster to do that than it is to actually backtrack through those big spinner tracks and all of that really annoying stuff. And plus it's just a lot easier. So yeah, there's really no reason not to save warp, especially if you do the boss key early trick. So yeah, it's really nice. But anyways, now right here we just have to spin this little switch to get this thing to move. And one thing that I actually kind of want to bring up is that the HD version actually changed the controls for the spinner for some reason. So right here you'll notice it says press A to jump. Well, on the HD version, it's actually press whatever button you have the spinner equipped to jump and to use these switches. And I don't know why they did that. Oh, and also pressing the A button just makes you get off the spinner. So, especially my first time playing through the game, I fumbled around with the spinner a ton just because I was always pressing the wrong button, and I would always be trying to jump off a platform or a spinner track, and I would drop off of it because I just canceled the spinner. And I mean, I guess from a casual first-time player experience, that really doesn't mean anything. But at least for somebody like me who's been playing the GameCube version for 9 years or 10 years or whatever, it really messed with my head. But yeah, it really doesn't matter. But that's just one little minor nitpick I had of the HD version. But anyways, so now that we're in the boss room, we can get started. Now right here, instead of walking forward to the cutscene, I can actually just pull out the spinner and have some weird stuff happen there. Yeah, so basically there is the spinner track actually does go into the wall or into the floor here, and you can land on it, but it's just you aren't supposed to be there because I guess they didn't expect you to use the spinner until you actually started the fight. I don't know, it's really weird. But also it's better to use the spinner just because the spinner actually travels really fast in this room, so it's way faster than just walking. But anyway, so right here, now that the fight's actually started, we just need to kind of go forward and use the spinner and attack with it on Stallord's spine a few times, and then Stallard's dead. Wow, I got some dumb luck there. The position of these Stalfos Redead things, whatever they're called, is completely random, and so sometimes you'll just get really bad positions. But hopefully that doesn't happen the entire fight. Also, hopefully I can stop pressing A too late and bouncing off of the spine instead of attacking it. But anyways, I do want to go over a couple really weird things that can happen during this fight. That did not work. So some weird things that can happen. Those Stalfos things that appear right around that appear right around the that appear right around the spine. Sometimes they can just randomly not spawn. I had actually never seen it before today. I actually randomly had it happen in a failed recording. So that's a little weird, but yeah, sometimes we don't know what causes it, but sometimes they can just randomly not spawn. And it actually saves a little bit of time to do that, because you don't have to either kill them or ricochet off of another one and hit them in the spine, or hit Stallord in the spine. But anyways, that's, I guess, probably the most common one that can happen. There are two other really weird things that have happened to people in the past, and we don't know why they work at all. But one thing that's happened is, right after you hit Stallord, there's that cutscene that plays where his spine breaks and then he falls. Some people have had it where they land back on the spinner track, but instead of following the spinner track, they clip into the ground behind them, or behind the spinner tracks. So way up there, behind, back on the the platform that we started on. They clip into that, and they're moving slowly inside the floor. It's really weird, and again, nobody really knows how it works. But the other thing that has happened to some people, which is actually it's really bad, is sometimes they have hit Stallord's spine, and then the cutscene plays, and then when the cutscene finishes, they find themselves down here, actually. Like, they clipped through the sand or something and fell and landed on the ground here. The sand is still up there, Stallord is still up there, and you have no way of getting up there to actually attack Stallord. So there are really only two options. You can either kill yourself with bombs if you have them, which I don't, or you could save and quit and then come back to the boss. But yeah, those are really the only two options, so that's... but that's a really rare thing. I think only like 2 or 3 people have had that happen, and it's extremely rare. But yeah, those are 2 random things that can happen in the Stallord fight. So yeah, this fight is a little bit finicky or a little bit wonky. Sometimes random things can happen, but yeah, that's kind of interesting. But anyways, so now that that's all done, we can raise this platform and finally be done with the dungeon, now that we've clearly beaten Stallord, right? I mean, he looks dead and everything, so clearly he must be dead, right? What? No way. Okay, yeah, this I'm pretty sure shocked nobody who played this game. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody knew that they had more to go. But anyways, right here, so this is the second phase. There is actually a faster strat that you can do. So normally you're supposed to use this spinner track on the middle pillar to climb all the way up and then do some jumps across and then attack Stallord. But if you actually press and hold the spinner button, you actually like kind of stay in place and don't go on the spinner track. And if you do that here, Stallord will start shooting these fireballs at you. And if on the 4th fireball, you pull up the item menu, force unequip the spinner so that you basically stop using the spinner, and then pull up the item menu again real quick after, re-equip the spinner, cancel, start holding up, and then press the spinner button again. You will literally just run into Stallord just like that, and knock him down really quick. It's a lot faster than actually having to go up the big spinner track, and it's really satisfying to be able to pull off. And then right here we have the Stallord 1 cycle. Literally by just chaining together a bunch of quick spins, you can just down this guy in 1 cycle really quickly, which is really nice because if you couldn't do this in 1 cycle, it takes so much longer because you have to like go up the center platform, because doing that like quick hit and like knocking him down real fast without having to go up the whole thing, it's really finicky, and it doesn't really work if you fail it the first time. Like it can, but it's really hard to figure out how to get it to work, and I'm not sure how it works. But yeah, you like if you fail the 1 cycle, it takes a long time. And now I actually should also mention that 1 cycle is really easy on the GameCube and HD versions, but the Wii version is actually very difficult, because the Wii version has, for whatever reason, they put a cooldown on the quick spin, and so you can't just chain together quick spins like you can't do this on the Wii version. You have to wait for the quick spin to recharge or whatever. And because of that, there is a way to 1 cycle it, but it's a lot more precise. Like, you have to do more jump attacks and spin attacks when you can and whatever, and it's really weird. But it's also really hard, I'm told. I've never done it myself, but yeah, it's really weird. But anyways, so now that we're done that, we can actually exit the dungeon. I also got the heart container. Don't want to forget that. And then can come out here. And now, I actually do want to mention one thing. I'll briefly mention it now. I will come back to it later, but there is actually a way to skip the Stallord fight, the entire Stallord fight. But of course, I'm not going to go over it right now, and the main reason for that is because it's actually not at all viable to do on console. It's like, it requires so many, like, I think there are like 2 or 3 frame perfect inputs that you need to do, plus you need a pixel perfect like position on a certain part of it, and it's really dumb. Also, what happened there? That was really weird. I'm not sure what happens, but I guess I randomly attacked one that I wasn't trying to attack. But anyways, yeah, this Shadow Beast fight was always really annoying to me. But it's not actually that hard. You just need to kind of figure out what order to kill them all in. But yeah, anyways, kind of annoyed that I failed that, but whatever. It's not a big deal. But anyways, now that that's all done, we can raise the mirror by going up here. But before I do that, I actually want to talk about something that the any % speedrun does. So right now, you'll notice if I try warping away using Midna, Midna doesn't let us do it. Midna just says, hey, you need to go and raise the Mirror of Twilight, basically. But if you go into the map screen and try and press the portal button, it does the same thing. But if you zoom in all the way and then press the portal button, then the portals appear. I don't know why that, I guess they just completely missed that, but by doing this, you can actually warp away and skip raising the mirror. The downside to that is that every single time you have to warp after that, you have to do it through the map menu by zooming in all the way, for the entire game. Even after the mirror has been, like, raised or whatever, like, at that point you have to raise it with, or you have to warp with the map. There is no way around that. But anyways, and actually I think it's for that reason that I'm not doing that in the 100% speedrun, because that just creates a little bit of extra time warping every single time you have to warp. And so I think because it happens like halfway through the 100% speedrun, it doesn't actually end up, like, skipping this doesn't actually end up saving enough time or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, so now that I've done all that, I need to warp to Zora's domain, and thus starts my least favorite day-night cycle. So I mentioned in the last episode that the time of day was going to get set to a specific time real soon. Well, that just happened, actually. Right after you exit Arbiter's Grounds through the back entrance, or the back exit or whatever, every single time you do that, from this point forward, actually, even though you've already beaten the dungeon, it will always set it to a certain time in the middle of the night. So actually, if I fail any more day-night cycles, I'm lucky I landed on that. But yeah, if I fail any more day and night cycles, I can actually just go through Arbiter's Grounds again, just go enter the front entrance and then exit through the exit, and it will always set the time of day to sometime during the middle of the night. So yes, this game does not have any sort of, like, sun song that you can use to change it from day to night, but it does have that, which is a little bit of, which is actually really nice. There's also another way later on in the game to immediately change it to day, so there is technically a way to control the time of day, but it's really, really limited, and it's really annoying to do. But anyways, so now that that's all done, we can just head over here, and I'm going to be collecting this golden bug. As I mentioned a number of episodes ago, I would have collected that golden bug had I gotten, like, way earlier when I got the, or after I got the, what's it called, the fishing hole bug. But of course, the fishing hole bottle, had I gotten it first try, but because I didn't, I had to skip it, so I went and got it now, which is nice. So at this point, I just need to head over to Snow Peak, because I actually want to get Ashe's sketch, which is just a random item that will let me get an upgrade later. But of course, I have to get it right now, otherwise I'm pretty much never going to be able to get it again. But that doesn't really matter. But right here, I actually kind of want to talk about Ashe here. Ashe was always one of my favorite characters playing this game as a kid. I actually have no idea why. She has, like, the dialogue you're reading right here is practically her only dialogue in the game. She has random things she'll say if you talk to her in Telma's bar, like, at other points in the game, but, like, that's literally, like, right there. That's pretty much the absolute only time you're ever going to talk to her. And that... it's a bit of a shame, I think, because Ashe's actually kind of a cool character, and she's got a cool design and everything, on personality and whatnot, but I just wish they did more with her, I guess. But instead, she's just completely, like, pointless. She barely has any relevance in the story. But anyways, I guess it's not really a big deal. It's just, I kind of wish they had done more with her. But now that we've done all of that, we can just head over here. I warped to Kakariko, and I'm going to be heading out here to Kakariko Gorge, because there is a lot of 100% stuff that I need to get here. Or in this area. So as soon as I leave Kakariko Village, I'm on a timer basically, because the night is, like, the time is passing at this point, and this day-night cycle is kind of precise. It's probably not as precise as I'm thinking it is. Maybe I'm just bad at this game, but yeah, it's kind of annoying. But right here, actually, I just skipped a mailman trigger. There's a mailman trigger, like, a little bit behind me there, and by just by going onto the bridge from, like, very close to the fence there, you can completely skip the mailman trigger, and it saves some time. But anyways, So now that that's done, we can head on over to this cave over here. This is another lantern cave, which, speaking of which, I'm going to need my lantern. And this one is not nearly as annoying as the last one that I had to do. This one's actually closer to the Farron Province caves. But yeah, we just need to go through this little maze, and this is a relatively easy one to remember, not like the last one, which was a lot longer. But yeah, you just need to pretty much go right every single time. Actually, no, it's right, and then left, I think. So at the next junction, I should have to turn to the right again, I think, unless I'm... Yeah, no, this was right. And then at this junction here, you want to go left. Actually, I don't even need my lantern out at this point. Actually, no, I still need the lantern once more, but I don't want to be wasting lantern oil because I do actually need, because this lantern oil that I have right now is supposed to last me until the very end of the game. So I don't want to have to randomly refill somewhere. But anyways, so now that I've done that, I can get this heart piece. And there is actually one other thing that I need to get in this cave, which is a Poe. And it's actually it's very close by here, but it's actually important that I got the heart piece first because the Poe, I'm actually going to be skipping the text that appears afterwards. So here's the Poe right here. Actually, once you do this, as soon as you start doing the backflip and as soon as you rip out the soul, basically, it actually counts it as soon as you rip it out. You don't need to see the text. So by actually saving and quitting at this point, and I'm actually going to switch memory cards real quick. By saving and quitting, I can actually just completely skip the text and it will never appear. So that just ends up saving a tiny bit of time. It's really minuscule, but it's notable for sure. But now that we've done that, that actually puts us right back onto Kakariko, the bridge, which is another reason I wanted to save warp, because it actually saves the time of having to backtrack out, which is really nice. But now that that's over, we can head up this little, whatever this is called. I don't even know what to call this land formation, but we can come up here and apparently fail at getting this Poe. We can get the Poe, and then after that, we have my least favorite trick in the run, practically. I'm probably exaggerating a little bit, but right over there you'll see there's this thing that's on that little spire there. That is a heart piece, and I want to get that. But there is another heart piece that is down there, and actually, real quick, I'm going to kill this guy just so that he doesn't get in my way. But yeah, so there's another heart piece. And, oops, that's not what I need. But yeah, so basically, I'm just going to be getting this one real quick. And then the other heart piece is actually in that chest that you can hardly see it, but there's a chest that's down there on that platform. I want to boomerang long jump attack to that, but the boomerang long jump attack might not work. Yeah, see, I randomly bonked off of something. And actually, because of that, I have to reset. So this is the thing, is that the day-night cycle is this precise, basically. Or at least, maybe it's not, maybe I'm just bad, but it feels really, really precise. Because, yeah, by failing that even once, that wastes too much time, because you'd respawn right there on the bridge, and then you'd have to come all this way again, and go and attempt the trick again, and probably fail it again. But yeah, it's that boomerang long jump attack there is so easy to bonk on, it's so easy to hit the walls there, and I'm actually not even sure how to avoid having that happen. It makes no sense, and it's so stupid. I will basically never stop hating this trick. I have honestly lost a number of 100% attempts to this trick right here. And it's a real shame because this is 3 to 4 hours into the speed run. So it's really dumb to actually lose a run that long in just because of that. And anyways, let's get this heart piece again. That's another problem, is that every time you fail this and reset, you have to get the heart piece in the thing again, the post hole again. So let me try it like this. Okay, there we go. That just barely worked. So one thing that I've found about that, for some reason, is that you always seem to end up way more left than you think you'll end up, which really messes me up. I can never figure that out. And so it's such a hard trick for me. I'm sure I could understand it better if I just practiced it more, but I guess I'm too stubborn to practice that or something, or too lazy more. But anyways, and also I do want to note that it is possible to get both the heart piece, or both heart pieces at the same time, basically. It's possible to hit the hit the, like, use the boomerang and, like, do a couple targets in specific spots to actually get it to like, get the heart piece that's on the spire to follow you and, like, get to you while you're opening the other chest or whatever. But yeah, it's a little hard to do, and it doesn't end up saving that much time. But yeah, I guess I probably should learn how to do it though, because it does save a lot of time in this, or it does save a lot of in-game time. But anyways, right after that, we want to get this this golden bug right here. And also, one thing that I actually kind of want to mention is that mailman trigger earlier, I don't know why it appeared. It should not have appeared. There's actually a note in the 100% route here that I have that specifically says that mailman trigger should not appear. I don't know why it did. Okay, you know what? Screw Epona. Epona is just wasting my time. I do not have the time to waste at this point. So I want to get this Poe real quick, and then right after that, given my track record, it's probably going to turn to day, like, immediately. But yeah, I still have one more Poe I need to get, and hopefully it doesn't take me too long, and hopefully Epona didn't, or Link, technically, I guess I named Epona Link. Hopefully Link doesn't screw me over. But yeah, so let's just go this way, I guess. We want to go this way. Yeah, it looks like it might already be turning day, which is bad. But maybe it's not. Maybe I probably still have time to get this Poe, actually. But I do have one thing I need to get after that, actually. Still, I have to get another golden Poe. Don't do that, Epona, please. I do not want to fail this day-night cycle. Actually, it's not even turning day quite yet. That's actually really... Oh, I think it spoke too soon. It's starting to turn day. Let's hurry. So that Poe that's right there is the Poe that I want to get. That's up there. So let me get this real quick. Let's get up here. These are the rocks that I blew up during escort, like during the escorting of, yeah, Telma and Ilya and whatnot. But yeah, so the reason I actually wanted to blow that up is because I want to get this Poe right now, and had I not done that right then and there, I would have actually, I wouldn't have been able to get it now because I don't have bombs right now. So there we go. I actually got that Poe soul, and then, as I mentioned, there's one more thing that I need to get right here, which is this golden bug that's just over here in this area that has some chews. And then after that, I'm going to be warping to Kakariko, and then I'll be saving and quitting and being done with the episode. But yeah, so right here, this is where the bug is. So I just want to get this, and actually, now that I think about it, I didn't make the day-night cycle, because I actually still have at least two more Poes that I need to get in Kakariko Village, or in Kakariko Graveyard, and potentially the village too. But yeah, it's this day-night cycle. I can't complain about it enough. It is so hard to make, and it's stupid. But anyways, so now that I'm here in Kakariko Village, that's just going to be the end of the episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, click the like button. If you didn't, fine, click the dislike button. Follow me on the links in the description, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!